Is Ethiopia going to start deporting Eritrean refugees? Welcome to my views and news. Thanks for watching the channel. I have a clip for you, 3 minute long clip of Ethiopian representative at the UN Human Rights Council who presented a charge sheet against Eritrea at a meeting 3 days ago. And a part of his speech indicates that Ethiopia could start deporting Eritrean refugees. Secondly, another news story about Eritrean refugees. Over 100 have been found stranded on Kenya-Uganda border. Let's start with this news story, which is from Kenya-Uganda border. 108 Eritreans have been found stranded there in West Pokot County, which is on Uganda-Kenya border. West Pokot County Police is investigating the matter. The 108 Eritreans include women, 13 minors, men, etc. The Eritreans entered Ethiopia. Now, an investigation is underway. They told that they entered Ethiopia from Eritrea. And there, some human traffickers contacted them. Or they contacted human traffickers because these Eritreans who enter Ethiopia or neighboring countries, basically they want to go to the place where they want to go. The destination could be Europe, it could be America, it could be some African country. And they contact human traffickers. Sometimes human traffickers contact them. But during investigation, they told that from Ethiopia, they were taken to Uganda. And they were left stranded on Uganda-Kenya border by the human traffickers. How were they taken to Uganda from Ethiopia? Ethiopia does not share border with Uganda. Ethiopia shares border with Kenya. Now, Kenya authorities are investigating the matter. Now, it is becoming increasingly difficult for these Eritreans to reach Europe, to reach America. It's becoming almost impossible for them, keeping in view the dangers they face on their way from Eritrea to the destination. All neighboring countries are unsafe for them. Sudan, Djibouti, Ethiopia. They need to enter one of these countries. Sudan, Djibouti, Ethiopia, or across the sea, Yemen. So none of these countries is welcoming them. Then they are at the mercy of all human traffickers who just want to make money. Human trafficking networks operating on Ethiopia-Eritrea border, in other border areas. Now, back to main news story, viewers. Is Ethiopia going to start deporting Eritrean refugees? It could happen, by the way, because I told you about war of words between Eritrean and Ethiopian delegations at UN Human Rights Council meeting where a resolution was rejected. Resolution was backed by Eritrea. It was put to vote to put an end to the mandate of UN Special Rapporteur on Eritrea. Ethiopia opposed the resolution. It voted for continuation of the mandate of UN Special Rapporteur. That led to start of exchange of harsh words, strong words between Eritrean and Ethiopian representatives. I have a clip for you of the Ethiopian representative who spoke at the UN Human Rights Council defending Ethiopian decision to vote against the motion which wanted termination of the mandate of UN Special Rapporteur. In his talk, the Ethiopian representative says that Ethiopia has been showing generosity by hosting tens of thousands of Eritreans, but some elements are exploiting it. There are threats to Ethiopian sovereignty and national security. What does it mean? Does it mean that some Eritreans who disguise themselves as refugees are being used as agents by Eritrean government? That is why I think that Eritrean refugees could be in trouble in Ethiopia. Ethiopia could start deporting them. It happened, by the way, during the war to 1990-2000 war, when Ethiopia deported Eritrean refugees. Same could happen again. Secondly, Ethiopia representative says that Eritrea could use force against Ethiopia. Eritrea is committing human rights abuses. Eritrea is in occupation of Ethiopian territories. Eritrean actions are a threat to human rights situation in Ethiopia and humanitarian situation in Ethiopia. I mean, it was a full-fledged charge sheet which Ethiopia representative read against Eritrea. While the two are holding talks in Saudi Arabia, they have held some sessions of talks there. So far, no de-escalation. They're leveling serious allegations against each other. I have a clip for you showing the Ethiopian representative at UN Human Rights Council. Take a listen to what he said. He did not mince matters. He criticized, he slammed the Eritrean government without pulling any punches. Take a listen to what he said. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Mr. President. At the outset, allow me to reaffirm Ethiopia's long-standing and principled position against country-specific mandates. Ethiopia strongly encourages approaches rooted in dialogue, consent and capacity building, and we consistently advocate for mechanisms that aim to improve human rights outcomes through constructive engagement. However, the situation we face today is extraordinary and compels us to adopt an exceptional position. We are dealing with a situation that not only affects the bilateral relations between Ethiopia and the country concerned, but also poses a direct threat to Ethiopia's sovereignty, national security, human rights and humanitarian obligations. After years of constructive diplomatic efforts, including Ethiopia's support for lifting the sanctions regime and efforts toward political rapprochement, we deeply regret the absence of meaningful progress. Despite Ethiopia's repeated calls and commitment to peace, we are now confronted with grave violations of international law, the continued occupation of Ethiopia's sovereign territory, and an imminent threat of the use of force from the country concerned. Furthermore, Ethiopia's long-standing generosity in hosting hundreds of thousands of refugees from the country concerned is being exploited by elements seeking to undermine our national security, public safety, and social cohesion. Reports of gross human rights violations, particularly in the border areas, continue to emerge, as noted by the Special Rapporteur in his latest report. These are not isolated issues. They threaten regional stability and contradict the very principles that guide the work of this Council. It is against this backdrop that Ethiopia supports the renewal of the Special Rapporteur's mandate. We believe that the continuation of this mechanism is necessary to ensure monitoring, reporting and accountability, and to promote eventual engagement under more conducive circumstances. Mr. President, Ethiopia has consistently pursued a path of peace grounded in dialogue, regional stability and respect for the dignity of all peoples. It is our sincere hope that the country concerned will, in time, demonstrate a genuine willingness for constructive engagement, creating the conditions for the mandate to evolve into one focused on technical cooperation and positive transformation. In closing, while Ethiopia maintains its principled reservations about country-specific mandates, the current context marked by persistent non-cooperation and escalating threats demands robust international attention. Accordingly, Ethiopia is compelled to vote in favor of Resolution A/HRC/59/L7 as tabled by the European Union. I thank you, Mr. President.